so I said, hey, have you ever seen a big wild boar hog? And she goes, no. And so I take off running, the hog's running, and I'm running, and I'm holding the phone so she could see the hog. But she called me the other day, and she cried. She was crying. We stayed on her for over an hour. And she was crying the whole time. And those kind of things that people, it happens fairly often, you know. You know, I also spoke to all our U.S. Army troops in Alaska in 2010 about not taking their lives. I spoke 10 times over a period of 6 days from at 3 bases, and in Anchorage, and then we flew to Fairbanks, and it was just the most fascinating thing. But I get into it with the mental health professionals because I don't fit their criteria, what they've studied a degree.
Right.
I have a degree I don't want them to ever have.
Right,
you know?
of course.
And it's
you
like,
learn the hard
so,
way.
yeah, so they're, anyway. And I still hear from some of those people. So it's like, I walked away, like up in, I forget the name of the place, in Washington State, and I walked away, and people saw it, and they saw that this guy was suicidal. I was outside of McDonald's, and they said, you just look like you were so much in control. And how do you know what they need? And I said, I don't know what anybody knows, but I know that they did on the inside. They said, how do you have their answer? I said, I don't have anybody's answer. They have their own answer inside of it. And they said, well, you just said you were so together. I said, I was so horrified that I thought my knees were knocked in. I said, but what I'm doing on the inside is I am praying so hard, David. I'm like, please, God, please don't let me lose this precious, precious human life. You know, please. And I'm begging on the inside. Those people aren't seeing it. They don't need to see it. And it's like, but it works. It's power. It's power. It's power. It works. Yeah. Look, I've been through, I probably almost lost my life, off the top of my head, I almost lost my life out there walking well over 30 times, maybe 40, and we can't count the times that I'm not aware of. And it's like, but there was divine intervention so much that it's just like, somebody else can question it. I don't give a damn if someone else questions it. I'm the one that it happened to. It's for me to know, you know?
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. And I never, ever try to shove my beliefs down anybody's throat. I've had guys, people say, well, what's your source of strength? And I tell them, my source, I'm a firm believer in the Lord thy God Almighty. I'm also a firm believer in the teachings of Jesus Christ. I love those teachings. They're beautiful. I like the teachings of Buddha. I like the teachings of Jesus better than I do the teachings of Buddha. I don't have to explain that to anybody. I don't care. Yeah. And it's like, I believe in the Lord thy God Almighty. Period. Yeah. And I do not go around telling other people that they need to believe that. You know? No. I got into that religious stuff one time. It was a step up for me. I stayed in it about 2 years. I saw the bullshit. And it's like, but it was a step up for me. I went from being an outlaw biker to the Pentecostal religion. That was a step up for me. Yeah. And so I stepped up long enough to get out of that, found God, and went after that instead of the religion.
Wow.
So
I love this right here, what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think it's amazing.
It's love life. It's just that people don't understand the power. I've had people come up to me like out in California, preacher come up, he goes, it's probably in the book, he goes, your sign, it should say, love God. I said, it does. He goes, well, I don't see it. I said, well, sir, perhaps one day you will. And it's like life. And those same preachers, those same religions will go up the pulpit and say, God is love. God created your life. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, right over here. But yet I've never had, and I don't want it, I don't need it. I've never had one penny come from any of those religions, any of those big churches, and I'm not asking. And my needs are always met. Are they met? Am I driving around in a Bentley like some of those preachers? And you know what? I'm not their judge. For all I know, God may come down and Jesus, God, whoever, and drive them through the pearly gates in their Bentley. You know? Who am I? In other words, I can't judge them. Is it right for me to do it? No, it is not right for me to do it. You know, so I don't know. I watched a preacher one time on his channels, or this preacher's in Texas. He was explaining to his congregation why he needed a second jet. And so he said, well, you know what? Jesus was, if they had jets and stuff like that in Jesus' day, he would have got a jet because he could spread the word more. And I'm like, excuse me? I said, what I've read about him, they couldn't even get him to ride on a donkey.